Now I just gotta figure out where the watch page is again. This is weirdly confusing. Oh yeah, here it is. Yep, I got it. I'm gonna post it in the chat box. I guess you don't need to open it, but and then I'll post an actual thread since this is always an issue. If you guys are already listening, please tell me if you can hear me. I hope to God that this works this year. Okay. Cool. We're good. All right. You guys can get started in like a minute. I need to do some audio maintenance stuff in the background. So just get started and I'll join you guys shortly. Go. I don't think they can hear you guys. Hold on. I think it lost the audio. Say something? Nope. Say something? Nope. What the fuck? Say something? Say it again? Why did this work a second ago? Say something? Nope. Again? Alright, I'm gonna stop the stream really quick and then restart it. Sorry, guys. Son of a bitch! Talk. Alright, I'm gonna fucking Google this. Try something. No. Say something. No. Say something.
Test.
Yeah, it works, but it's fucking over the speakers instead of over my headset. What the fuck? Can you, I'm gonna talk with my mic on. Can somebody talk and see how bad the feedback is? Can you hear yourself?
Test.
Test.
Can you hear yourself?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I can hear myself now.
Okay, let me turn that down. All right, try it again. Talk with my thing on.
Test, test. Can I hear
Test,
myself? Test, test, test. I'm good. I don't hear anything.
Test, test, one, two,
test,
three.
test. Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Okay, good, cool. That works. That's perfect. All right, so we're good now, I think. All right, a little delayed, I guess.
They're saying they can. They're saying they can hear us. So
Start it off. Go for it, guys.
All right. Welcome to the 2020 NFLHC Draft. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally here. Hope everyone's as hyped as we are. I am Alien UFO, the NFL Commissioner, joined by Sagebo,
Hey, everyone.
Imposter,
hello, everyone.
and of course Saluna.
Hey, guys.
All right, we're about 15 minutes away from the first overall pick. Let's talk about it. Who do you guys have as Titans #1?
Personally, I have the defensive end out of Mississippi State, Tyler Jones. This is a guy that's going to wreak havoc for years to come. And I know maybe Tennessee's got some other pressing issues all over their team. They did just go 1-15. But when you get a guy as good as Jones, it's really hard to pass up. I know the sexy pick would be a quarterback, but it's just really hard to pick anyone but Tyler Jones at #1 right now.
Tend to agree there. Jones is going to be a monster. It'd be hard to see him not go #1. But don't take your eyes off of Raheem Robinson out of Oklahoma State. The dude is a monster, and is quite possibly the best receiver to grace the draft in a while.
I think it's Tyler Jones. I'm fairly certain. The guy seems to be a total monster, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the best players I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's the next Albus Brum, and I think you can't pass up on that, no matter what your biggest need is. And the Titans, they went 1-15, but they're not. I don't think they're the worst team in the league talent-wise. I think they just had a series of really unfortunate injuries that's really hard to overcome. So I look forward to seeing how they do this year if they do take him. Of course, they still do need a quarterback because they have not re-signed Kareem. So it's possible it could be Burnett, but I really doubt it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm higher on Burnett than most people. I think he's like. I don't think he's Aaron Shea, but I think he should probably be a top 5 pick. I think it's part of the draft orders seemingly has been dictated by hype, especially because these people have been like real hype for 2 years now, like the Keel Morris thing and stuff. But I think Burnett shouldn't fall as far as I think he's going to fall. If that makes sense. Like I think he'll probably be picked, not for a long time, but I think he should be.
Yeah, I think the thing is a lot of people either have a starter at quarterback that they like paid and they're going with for a while, or they have somebody that they recently drafted and are still giving them time. Like it's really hard to see what teams he'd go to. The only two I can see him in the top of the draft order are Dallas and Seattle. So they pick Dallas is the 7th pick and Seattle is the 11th. So I see one of those two taking Burnett. I don't know about Fisher. Some people think Fisher is a better prospect than Burnett. but he's a scrambler, so I guess it really is preference. So, what do you guys think of Fisher? Do you think he's going to go in the first round today?
I think he's a fantastic quarterback, but he shouldn't be a first-round pick. At least not with the teams looking for quarterback.
I've got Fisher rated better than Burnett. I think he does more with less around him, but I don't think he goes in the first round. He just doesn't have the hype, as we were saying, that some of these other guys have, and hype is a big part of our drafts.
I don't disagree. I don't think he's, again, this, I guess me and Slinky are me and Sage are at odds here because I don't think he's as good as Burnett, but I do think he's good. The problem is he's a scrambler, and I don't. This feels a lot like, I don't want to like bring up real NFL here too much, but this feels like a Paxton Lynch situation where I could see like the right team taking him at like the middle end of the first round, or he could just totally fall off, and I don't know where he ends up at that point. And it's funny that I made the Paxton Lynch connection because I feel like the Broncos may not be that crazy of a destination. I don't know what exactly they're doing with Todd Jennings, but I feel like they could develop somebody for the future if they want to.
If Fisher does fall out of the first round, and Tennessee with the first pick in the second takes him, I think that would be an amazing draft for them. But we'll see how it goes.
That would be like that would be like Khalil Mack and Carr, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's talk about some of these other top prospects. There's a lot of drama between who's better, Akil Morris or CJ Thomas. What do you guys' thoughts on that? I think they're both top 10 picks, but
just as you said that, the Buccaneers are officially fielding calls for the number 4. They're trying to trade down.
That's interesting. The Buccaneers have a million picks already. I wonder why they must not like the spot.
I don't disagree with that. But back to the question. I personally prefer CJ Thomas. I think Thomas is probably the clear 3rd, 4th, 5th best player in the draft, and Akil is a slight tier below him. I think Akil is probably better in a very specific scheme, but I think in general, for most teams, it's going to be Thomas. I could be convinced of Akil over Thomas depending on who it is, but in most cases, I think Thomas is probably the better choice. Safer choice, I'll say it that way.
I kind of agree. I think they're both going to be great. I don't think either of them is going to be – anyone who picks them, I don't think they're going to be disappointed with either guy. But I feel like Thomas has a slight edge just because he's a little more versatile and you can use him in different ways. You might look at Akil's like stats and think he's more versatile because he has all those sacks and whatnot. But I think that's – when I talk about versatility, I'm talking about scheme, not really like pass rushing versus coverage versus just tackling and stuff. But yeah, I think if you run a 4-3, Akil is probably a better choice. But I don't think many teams in the NFL run a 4-3 at the moment.
Just a quick note: we've already broken our record for viewers during the draft, and the draft hasn't even started yet. So, thanks, guys.
Back to the question. I think, as you guys said, both these guys are going to be really great players at the next level. One thing to note is that Akil is, I think, 2 years younger. I think CJ is a redshirt senior and Akil is a true junior. So there's always that potential that he could grow. He's younger. He can grow more at a young age. And right now he's a hard-hitting thumper, while CJ is sort of a do-it-all kind of guy. And like you guys said, it really depends with what scheme they're put in.
Yeah. All right. Who do you guys think are your sleepers for either the first round or the entire draft?
Oh, I don't want to reveal that right now. I'll hold off on that, but I'll point them out as they get picked.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense since you have a little more information.
Like, I feel like even you guys, I feel like you might give away some. I mean, you could lie, I guess, but
I think the biggest sleeper of this draft is Ricky Lewis, the fullback from Temple.
no homo.
He's going to be an amazing player in the NFL.
Clearly, it's Dylan Bishop. There's not enough hype around him.
It's the whatever Northwestern players in the draft. Unspecified name. Alright, we got about 5 minutes left. Just for general information, as soon as it hits 8 o'clock here, I'm going to turn the clock on, and I assume the Titans are ready. They've had like a solid 2 months. I think is that right? I think it's been about 2 months since they've known. So
yeah, but I don't think they made a decision until recently.
oh, okay. Well, that's reasonable, but they have had 2 months to think about it. If they want to take all 10 minutes, feel free to take all 10 minutes. I'm not gonna. It's just one round tonight. I'm not gonna complain. Let's see. What else can we talk about?
There's a couple of corners that I think are going to go in the first round, and I think there's some debate over which ones are better as well. Marquise Reed obviously is super hyped up. Declared early, was in the national championship. Cameron Marshall won the national championship. And then I think Blake Turner of Ohio State is also kind of hyped up. What are you guys' thoughts on those three? Quarterbacks are always like super overdrafted, but
I've cooled a bit on the cornerbacks this draft as of like this week. I feel like they're not as good as I initially thought. I feel like there should be 2 in the first round, but I think 5 are gonna go.
I think there's a solid 3, but
yeah, 3 seems like the number that will go. Marshall and Reed are probably going to go in the top 10, maybe top 12. Turner a little farther down. The coverage stats from Marquise Reed are pretty insane. And this is with him playing 2 different positions. But Cameron Marshall actually has better stats on the year. Both of them would be pretty solid pickups, I feel.
I think Reed is incredibly raw. This is his first year playing cornerback. His sophomore and freshman year, he played free safety. Marshall, I think, is the more polished prospect. I think he should go before Reed, but that'll depend on what scheme defensive coaches are trying to run at the next level. And Blake Turner is a guy that I'm very iffy on. I just really don't know if he's much as a coverage guy. He's more of in the ball hawk mold, like his predecessor, DeAndre Hawkins.
I actually disagree entirely about Blake Turner. I don't think he's a ball hawk at all. I think he's a coverage guy. He only had I think I looked it up because I wrote his pro day. I think it was like 6 interceptions in his entire career, something like that. He's not a ball hawk. He's probably I think it's the opposite of ball hawk. He's like kind of a shutdown man coverage corner. But that's my opinion.
We are 1 minute from the draft beginning.
What I'm interested with the cornerbacks is where the FCS Jordan Harris corner
49ers.
He had a great combine, and his pro day was, I think, decent. I'm not sure he's a first rounder, but
Can you name the second cornerback on the 49ers?
didn't they have that one that was on the Rams like before?
Oh yeah, they did. That's true.
I think they let him go on free agency though, didn't they?
Can you name the third cornerback on the 49ers? This guy is fast.
I can't name the third cornerback on any team.
Except your own. I think I know yours. It's Kyrie Miller, right?
Yeah. Slimmest Reaper.
That's the only reason I know that. Alright. Alright. Let the 2020 NFL Draft begin. The Tennessee Titans are now on the clock.
Hype.
Okay, well, I hit the start button on the clock and nothing happened, so I hope it works.
It's ticking down. I see there's 595 seconds left.
Oh, he might have started it and spiraled it. Alright, well, what is everybody's guess for this pick? I'm going to go with Tyler Jones.
I agree, Tyler Jones.
Tyler Jones.
Unanimous here, Tyler Jones.
Well, we can look ahead, I guess. So after this, it's me, then the Los Angeles Chargers. Blah. Then
I still have them as SD on here, but I was too lazy to change it because I'd have to change the Rams too. I was like, that's too much work.
Wow. I changed it on everything I have, so the ticker and stuff should be correct.
Yeah, I don't think it's official yet if the Raiders are moving because I heard that they also might be moving to San Diego.
Yeah, they might be moving to San Diego now.
So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to change Oakland yet this year until we find out. If it's
How crazy would that be if they go to San Diego?
official. That would be retarded, I think, but whatever.
Alright, let's see. Over under the Titans picking within 5 minutes.
Under. And then I think number 2 is going to go right away, but I think they should wait because we want to talk about it.
I'm not going to go right away. Fuck that. I gotta digest what I'm gonna get based on this pick.
Well, you said that there was 2 prospects that you were like.
There's 2.5. There's one other person I'd consider.
Well, I was thinking. Well, I know who you're gonna pick. I think so. I'm not gonna say anything.
Don't say anything. The Titans. Are the Titans aware that the draft has begun?
If you have any issues with your password or something,
You're probably
please
wrong.
let us know. Yeah, you're probably wrong, but I mean,
The pick is in. With the first pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Tyler Jones, defensive end, Mississippi State. Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
unsurprising.
There we have it.
Predicted that.
It's very unpredictable, but at the same time, I think this was absolutely the right pick for this franchise. Tyler Jones is going to be a mauler for years to come. They got a guy that can not only just cover the run, but he can sack the quarterback. He can play both in a 3-4 or a 4-3. He's extremely versatile. They're going to have a blast with Tyler Jones.
Aaron Shea is shaking in his boots right now.
Yeah, this is absolutely an amazing pick. I'm looking forward to seeing what Tyler Jones can do in the near future.
Interestingly enough, Tyler Jones is one of 2 or 3 contain guys in this draft for defensive ends. It's not a very popular type in the draft. Well, draftable guys, I should say, because there's a bunch of really shitty defensive ends that are going to be UDFAs that are contained, but pretty much everyone is blitz.
Speaking of, what are our thoughts here on the other contain defensive end, Isaiah Hall?
I don't like the guy. I know he did a lot of things, but I don't think he should go in the first round for a number of reasons. I think this is a deep defensive end class, don't get me wrong, but I think only about 4 of these guys are first round grades.
Yeah, I could agree with you there. I'm not exactly high on Hall. I think he'd be decent early, but not great.
I don't really know what to think of him. Was his pro day good? I don't remember.
It was decent-ish.
Yeah, I don't think he's like a fringe first rounder though. He might go in like the bottom 5 or 6 of the first round, but just because defensive end is a position that a lot of teams need.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting a defensive end run in the early to mid first. That said, I don't know if Hall would be a part of that down the line.
All right, still waiting on the Jacksonville pick. What do you guys think it's going to be? I know what it's going to be, so I'm not going to say anything. But
Something tells me it's not Raheem.
why do you say that?
I don't know. Just, with the Jags, wide receiver doesn't seem like that big a need, especially for that kind of offense. That said, he could use Raheem for a fantastic target for Barkley whenever he gets up.
I can't even name a receiver that's on the Jags, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Raheem Robinson, especially after the Sugar Bowl performance against a very good LSU secondary. It's really hard to pick anyone else than Raheem right now. His draft stock is through the roof. He's an incredible player. He's played all 4 years at Oklahoma State through the good times and bad. He does it in the receiving game. He does it on special teams.
With the second pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Raheem Robinson, wide receiver, Oklahoma State. The Los Angeles Chargers are now on the clock.
Yeah, Raheem is an absolute stud.
Right.
Very good pickup there for the Jaguars.
Not at all surprised.
Sorry, I know that the name hasn't updated on the clock thing. I'm working on it, so I'll be silent for a little
Just
bit.
updated.
No, on the overlay for the draft.
Oh, okay.
I'll get it fixed shortly.
I've got the
All right.
wiki up as well.
Chargers. I think they should take Marquise Reed personally. I personally don't want Marquise Reed in my division, but I think it's the best pick for them. They've been trying to trade this pick for ages, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is a trade right now. But the fact that they haven't done it yet indicates to me that they aren't getting what they want. So they might end up picking here.
I think it's the exact opposite. Supposedly they have 7 trade offers. I'm thinking either they're holding out for one better, which means either they don't have what they want or they're looking to get a lot more for this pick.
Regardless, I think this pick is going to take the full amount of time. So we have a lot of time to talk about this.
I agree with that. I just pretty sure they'll trade down here, which I don't necessarily agree with.
But I had an interesting stat. This is the first time since the first draft that an early declaration player was not taken in the top 2. Oh, San Diego pick it's in.
Wow.
Or Los Angeles.
With the third pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Anthony Miller, defensive end, Tennessee. The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
I don't really like that pick for them, but I feel like he's a little overrated. But that's just my thoughts.
I don't think it's a bad pick, and arguably it's what I expected, but I do think Reed would have been a better fit there.
Yeah, they did just take a defensive end in the first round last year, so now they have him and what's that Alabama guy from last year?
Jeffrey Chung.
Yeah, and who was somewhat disappointing, I think, as a rookie. So they have. I feel like they didn't need to bolster up their defensive ends so that they have two good ones. They should have shored up another position that is really in poor shape, which is most of their roster. But I guess they decided to go for. They don't agree with me, I guess.
They also have Andrew Pearson, the defensive tackle out of Boise, who was highly rated at the last draft. So in the last 2 years, they've completely revamped their defensive line. I think they do run a 3-4 defense.
I'm fairly certain they do as well.
All right, I'm all caught up. I'm not a fan of the Anthony Miller pick. I think he's overhyped based on the last couple of years. I had him projected between 10 and 15, but I think this is going to cause is a massive run on defensive ends. So those are going to get depleted very quickly. Also, when is the last time we haven't had a quarterback in the first three?
We didn't have a cornerback in the first three.
Quarterback.
20s. Oh, quarterback. I think there's a couple years where we didn't, but I'm not sure. Did we have a quarterback last year in the top three? I don't think we did.
We didn't?
Bengals picked 4th, right?
Oh, yeah, I think it was.
So yeah, it'd be last year.
I think Tampa's going to take the full time with this pick. Rabbit's been shopping this pick pretty hard, especially tonight.
Wait, apparently the Chargers said in the shout box that they're trying to shop Anthony Miller.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to point that out.
What?
I don't know. I think that's a really bad strategy to try and actually draft somebody and then try and trade them.
The only 2 teams that have done this before have both failed miserably at doing it.
Yeah, the Browns did it, and I think last year the Dolphins did that, right?
Yeah, the Dolphins did a swap with the Niners. Prince for Robinson.
The Buccaneers have 6 minutes left on their pick. The clock on the overlay is not working, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's not working properly, so just use the one from the site.
On the one hand, for San Diego, they now have a pretty decent front seven aside from outside linebackers. They have Tunch, Miller, Chung, and I forget who their defensive tackle is, but he's like not terrible.
I have no idea.
So,
defensive tackle.
Andrew Pearson.
I don't know who
yeah,
that is.
he's like okay. He's like mediocre. Not really. I don't know if he made any stat sheets, but he's like, I think he was a rookie last year.
Yeah, so if a quarterback doesn't go here, it'll be the first time ever that we do not have a quarterback go in the top 4.
My question about the Chargers move here is if you're looking to trade, if the potential trade Miller, why draft him when you still had a good 7 minutes left on the clock? Could have worked out a trade down.
I don't understand that either.
Could have drafted someone completely different. This doesn't add up.
So if Tampa Bay takes, if they don't trade this pick, I think they'll take CJ Thomas, but then Cleveland, they've got to take Marquise Reed, right?
Yes.
Comment from Dumbo, since we miss him and he's usually on our broadcast. He said, "What the Chargers are doing is it's not a strategy; it's called desperation."
Yeah. I feel like Tampa Bay is actually in a good spot now since Marquise Reed did not go in the top 3. I feel like some team might trade up for him right now.
I think this is what's happening because it's taken them already 6.5 minutes.
I would look for Green Bay to do it since they have 2 firsts, both in the top 10.
Yeah, Rabbit's only fielding offers from teams in the top 10, by the way.
Yeah, Kansas City is probably in there just because it's Kansas City. Yeah, I don't think Dallas or Cleveland would trade up though.
Rabbit is saying in the Discord that the interface isn't working for him.
Everyone playing the CFBHC NFLHC Draft drinking game, please take a shot now. We've had our first interface complete.
They're already all drunk from the aquarium. Four more minutes for the Buccaneers. Honestly, I think linebacker would be a terrible choice for them. I don't know. I don't know what they. Linebacker seems like the worst possible choice here. Their secondary is not that awful and fairly young, I think. Honestly, they should probably trade down. I think that's the best bet here.
Question is, who in the top 10 would be willing to go up, with the exception of Green Bay, as Alien said earlier?
What is the issue with Rabbit? He didn't he said there's a problem with the interface, but then he didn't say what it was.
3 more minutes.
All right. Chargers saying that cornerback at number 3 was a reach. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but Troy Marshall was number 3 last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, he's done pretty well.
2 minutes for the Buccaneers. The Browns can snipe immediately.
At the same time, if you like your pick, if you like your player, you're allowed to have a different opinion than us. The 4 of us here are not all knowing. We have our opinions. We like the guys we like. Just because we don't like a certain pick doesn't mean he's going to be bad in the future. So don't get too butthurt if we talk about your pick and say it's bad or something. That's just our opinion.
Yeah, Rabbit's actually having an issue with the interface. You better tell me what it is so I can try and fix it. Otherwise, he's gonna miss his pick.
I mean, he's not talking, so. One minute left for the Buccaneers.
I mean, he's online. Rabbit, please.
$50 seconds left.
Well,
He's had well over 5 minutes since he's pointed out there's a problem.
yeah, so I don't know.
Pick is in. With the 4th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Aaron Blakely, free safety, Wisconsin. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
Interesting. I think that makes it more likely that Dallas would take a quarterback.
I think that's a terrible pick, is what I think. I was already shitting on Blakely in the pre-draft discussion. This makes zero. I don't know, this is fucking terrible. We'll see what they do. Maybe they took him out of panic or something and they want to trade him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have Blakely rated as the top 5 pick, but I don't know. Free safeties are something people will covet, I guess, even though they don't make the stat sheet much. Blakely did have a lot of hype from a lot of people based on his combine and his stats in college, but
Browns, please take some time between your picks. Like, don't.
Pretty
select
sure
the linebacker.
that pick, like, pretty much threw off everybody's mock drafts.
Yeah, it's already all
Anyone
fucked.
had.
It's all fucked.
Definitely the first surprise pick of this draft.
I think the Miller
Aaron-
pick is kind of surprising.
It wouldn't have been surprising before the pro days and the combine, though. Like when people were making mock drafts, I think people were still pretty hyped on Miller then.
Who's
Blakely,
drafting? Do we know who's drafting for the Browns? I don't know who's actually here.
I think it's Lucas.
Aaron Blakely's a really good talent, but I don't think I like the fit at that spot,
I just don't.
whether it be at number 4 or with the Bucs.
Both the 3 and 4 pick, I think, are like way overdrafted.
It's interesting that no cornerbacks have been taken yet. Usually, cornerbacks are drafted.
One's
super
gonna go to the
highly.
Browns.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all if they take either Reed or Marshall. I don't know who they prefer, but
the GM for the Cleveland Browns tonight will be Dean Craig Pelton.
Oh wow. Also a former host of the draft, I believe, in 2014, 2015, and 2017. And famous for the dishes incident of the 2014 Super Bowl.
I feel like whoever the Browns draft, whoever their coach is in college is going to be disappointed that he has to play for the Browns.
I hope they don't draft any of my players. Looking at the college stuff so far, we have 2 SEC picks, a Big 12 pick, and a Big 10 pick. So SEC taking the early lead with 2 defensive ends.
Interestingly, this draft order is the top 5 and 6 are pretty close to what it was 2 years ago in the real NFL when Jameis Winston,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mariota draft.
I have a rumor that the Browns are trading the 5th pick. I don't know if people are fucking with me.
I haven't heard such rumors yet. I don't like the
Oh
idea of them
no.
drafting.
Dean said I may be disappointed by their pick. Fuck no. Alright, well, we know who they're taking at 5. Who do they take at 6?
I think a lot of people have been taking Terrence Rodgers, but I really think they could go a lot of different ways there.
Terrence Rodgers would be a little high as well. Again, all the people that I like are slipping like crazy, so apparently I don't have the right opinion this draft.
Interestingly, for the Browns, whoever they take 5th makes a little more money than whoever they take 6th. So I guess it kind of matters who they take 5th
Yeah,
and 6th.
they would have to strategize this. This is the pick they got for the Joel King pick last year, by the way. Or the 6th pick is, sorry, not the 5th.
I wonder if Dean wrote a post-it this time that said something or fucking bust. Remember that when we drafted that corner that he traded the next year? Oh, pick is in.
With the... Oh, it's lagging. With the 5th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select C.J. Thomas, linebacker, Georgia. The Browns are still on the clock.
Interesting. I didn't have them taking a linebacker, but I didn't see that as a need for them. But I think C.J. Thomas is a great pick.
I actually like
there.
that pick.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I would not be surprised if this next one is a corner.
I don't know if going all defense... Their offense is fairly shit, though. Can they afford not to invest in it at all?
Their offense is not shit. They just need a running back, basically. They have Ty Miller. Their offensive line is decent.
I don't know about their O-line. Is that decent?
It is decent. They have
Okay.
the best center, and they have decent guards and tackles. So they pretty much only need a running back. They could use a tight end, but no one's drafting a tight end in the top 10. So
Yeah, I think Browns can afford to go defense here as well. Probably will see Marshall here or Reed. He's looking to trade either up or down from number 9. Yeah, I'm going to go with Marshall here. I like Marshall over. Yes.
They did have running backs last year, and neither worked out. So your move, Cleveland.
Yeah, last year we learned that IRL Alabama running backs do not equal Sim Bama running backs.
Yeah. Pick is not in yet. There's 7 minutes left.
Is there any chance they don't take a cornerback here?
I think there's a small chance, but it could be running back. They don't need a safety. No, they wouldn't take a safety this high. Picks in. With the 6th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Cameron Marshall, cornerback, Penn State. The Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock.
So yeah, pretty straightforward pick there. I also like it. They needed help on defense. And now the real question is, what does Dallas do with this pick? Because I don't know if they take
Graham Burnett.
Burnett would be the right pick. I just don't know if it would be the pick.
I don't know. I just thought Blakely would have been terrible in the top 10, especially to Dallas. So that can't happen anymore, so now I think it might be Burnett. So this is the 3rd Penn State corner that the Browns have taken, I believe. Right? They have Kadeem Martin. I think they took another one. That disgusts me.
It's easy to do well in a draft when you have 2 high picks, but I really like what Cleveland's done today. CJ Thomas, arguably the best inside linebacker. He was 2nd on mine, but I have a bit of Homerade in my blood. Then Cameron Marshall, who was the best corner on my board. Cleveland really reloaded that defense, gives them a chance in the Ty Miller shootouts that they fight in the AFC North. I don't think they'll be contenders next year, but I think they'll be very improved after these 2 big playmakers come to Cleveland.
Keep in mind, these guys are still rookies, so don't expect like a 95 overall performance by them.
I believe the Jaguars play the Browns this year, so an interesting matchup of
Raheem against Cameron Marshall.
Against Marshall. Yeah.
I need UBL with an air horn right now.
Dallas is interesting. They could really go a lot of ways. They have a lot of aging players, and they really need a wide receiver.
They really need a wide receiver. This could be Sam Hell or Whedon.
They do need a quarterback. I feel like their current quarterback, what's his name again? Rodriguez. Yeah, he's like okay, but I don't think he's like ever going to be more than average. So I feel like they could go quarterback here if they want to transition into a more passing offense, because Von Abraham is getting a little up there.
Inspiral was saying that they have been pushing for Akil the last couple of days, but nobody expected him to fall this far.
I could see that. I don't know who their current linebacker is.
They have a good guy from the first draft. I always forget his name. He's been there forever.
I don't see. Did Dallas re-sign Cleo Blair and Kelvin Grossman?
Oh yeah, Blair is who I'm thinking of. Oh, he's been there for 4 years. Oh, Jeff Mangum is who I'm thinking of. He's an outside linebacker though. Yeah, they have Cleo.
Yeah.
They have a 90 and an 88 inside linebacker.
Thought they traded away the other one to Carolina. Is Grossman not a Panther?
Oh yeah, that's true. They did.
So maybe Akil would go here.
I don't know if they're gonna run a 4-3 or 3-4 though.
Yeah, I can't see him running a with their defensive tackle is probably a 3-4. So not Akil. If Sam Hill or Whedon's worth a top 10 pick, I think it should be here.
I don't think he's worth this should be probably like either a key. I don't know if Akil should go here. I don't think that's that great of a fit. I think this should be Graham Burnett, honestly. I'm gonna sound like Dean with Kotar.
This could be I feel like it could be Marquise Reed, but I feel like if it's not, then it's for sure going to be going to Green Bay, unless they want Hurd.
You think? Well, Green Bay does have 2 picks actually. They could take Marquise.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't need a receiver, but they do need a cornerback. Dallas has 4.5 minutes left.
I'm expecting Akil, but I really do not like that pick here.
No, Akil is not a good fit there with their established inside linebacker. Akil needs the range on the field almost that's given to a solitary Mike. But I think Sam Hill or Whedon is also not a good fit in that offense either. He's more of a physical receiver that can go deep, and I don't think.
With the 7th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Graham Burnett, quarterback, Oklahoma. Green Bay Packers are now on the clock.
Well, we got our first quarterback. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
The NFC East is not. I'm not sure if they're going to be prepared for Dallas actually having a good quarterback, because they've never really had a great quarterback.
I don't know if Burnett can start right away. This is something I never looked into it because I didn't need one. I think he's good. I don't know how effective he can be right away. I don't think he necessarily needs to sit behind people. I think he can probably just be chucked in. But I think he's gonna look shit for a little while, but then probably start recovering.
Green Bay picked already, so they are happy that this guy fell to them.
With the 8th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Marquise Reed, cornerback, Clemson. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
I love that pick for Green Bay. I feel like Marquise Reed was a top 3 guy, and he fell to 8. That is a great pick.
It's funny, Doctor leaves, and now they're going to be good.
So the ball goes.
I doubt he'll play wide receiver for the Packers, so he's probably just going to play defense, maybe special teams. Kansas City could go a lot of ways, I think. They need D-line, but I don't know who they like. And they also need another corner because they got rid of Brady, but I don't know if that's a number one pick for them. They need a running back. I don't know if they need a running back, but they've been talking about wanting one. I don't know if they are going to take one here. It's also very possible they trade back. So
Chiefs are actively looking to trade back, and I have a trade rumor out of Tampa. The Bucks are looking to trade straight up Blakely for Akil.
They should have just picked Akil at 4 if they wanted him.
That doesn't make
I
any
just don't
sense.
understand. I want to go back to the Burnett pick. I think Dallas is a great situation for him. I wrote Burnett's scouting report, and one of the things that caught my eye was just his mental toughness. When things aren't going his way, he tends to throw picks. He gets nervous. Things were going his way this year at Oklahoma through the first 14 games, through the first 11 games, and then before they lost to Oklahoma State in the rivalry match. But Dallas is a franchise with a tradition of winning. They won the Super Bowl just a few years ago. He's got good pieces around him. If he sits, if he starts, I think Burnett's in a really good situation to do well in the league.
I think that's honestly a great pick for them. I think it'll work out well.
I would be surprised if they don't start him right away. He might not be totally ready, but they also don't need to compete right away either.
I think they can start him right away. I just don't know how effective he'll be. I think, though, even if he doesn't start super great, I think he can just keep him in. I think he's one of those guys where he's going to be shit, and he's going to really shit the bed sometimes until he gets better. But it's similar to, I think what they need to do is kind of what Leicester and Wiegert went through with those teams. Just let them do whatever they need to do, and they'll improve.
Interestingly, we have not had a trade yet.
One benefit I just thought of for Burnett, the secondaries in their division are pretty shit outside of the Giants. The Eagles secondary is not very great. It's like kind of, it's just average, and the Redskins is not good either.
They both have one pretty good corner though.
Yeah.
I don't know about their safety situations, but the Eagles have Hawkins, who's had a little resurgence on their team, and the Redskins have Barber, I think, who's actually fairly underrated. I think.
From your scouting thing, Sage, is Burnett's like a deeper guy, right? I don't remember.
As in arm strength?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got him and Brett Fisher are the two guys that can go deep and be accurate. I'm a big fan of both of those guys. Passing motion and accuracy and their mechanics.
I'm actually already super hyped for this next season. A lot of these fits, I think, this year, this might be, outside of maybe the Chargers and the Buccaneers, so far all the other picks, I think, are fairly good fits, and I'm interested to see what happens. There's not enough for me to shit on this year. I'm disappointed. I hope it gets better.
Oh, it's coming.
They're looking for a trade, I guess.
They have 5 minutes left.
So let's assume the Chiefs do select here. What do you think is the best position they could possibly draft right now?
I would take defensive end.
Yeah, I would take defensive end as well.
Probably Flowers. I don't know if they're scared about that combine, but his pro day was really good. I feel like his combine may be a blip because he has the substance abuse thing. Maybe he was still coming off a high or something, so he fucked up all his combine shit. But his pro day, he was clean, so he came off pretty well there. But I'm not really sure. I mentioned they've been looking for a running back. I think this is maybe a little too high draft anyone but Rodgers. So he also has that issue with personal conduct, I believe. So some minefields at this pick for what they need. Actually, Rodgers was also.
They are rapidly running out of time.
I don't like Rodgers going top 10, but I feel like that is what has to happen here.
I feel like Justin
rather
Buchanan
Rodgers
is
over
still pretty
Flowers
good,
at least.
though. But I would understand if they want to move on from a guy that's that old. So
I also don't like the Chiefs receivers. They're all like number 2s.
I agree, but I don't know if that's really the value here for them.
Yeah, receivers are not going here. I'd be very surprised.
So compared to the Discord mock draft you did like a week ago, you guys, you're so far 2 of 9 or 2 of 8. I think that Anthony Miller pick threw everything off. Oh, I can no longer see the interface. It just went down. Oh, back up. I got 2.5 minutes left. Believe he's actively still trying to trade.
One thing I'm interested in about with the Dallas quarterback situation is they changed coaches like towards the end of the season, and they noticeably got better once Yale Evan was fired. I don't know if Rodriguez did better, but they might have a quarterback competition in the preseason. I would expect that.
I think it's very possible. I know the Cowboys shouldn't be married to T-Rod starting this year.
Discord mock draft actually pretty good. We're 5 for 8 so far. So way to go, group think. What?
Which ones did you get right? Cameron Marshall, Robinson, Jones.
Jones, Robinson, Miller, Marshall, and Reed.
Oh, you got Miller and Chargers? That's pretty good.
Yep. Good work, group think. Proud of you guys. We have Eric Jennings predicted to go to the Chiefs, so let's see what they do.
Casey picked, I think.
It's lagged out at the moment. Pick is in. With the 9th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Terrence Rodgers, running back, Mississippi State. The Packers are now on the clock.
Interesting. I thought for sure when they traded up, they would be going for a defensive end, but I'm interested to see how that works out because Rodgers looks very good. I don't think he's solo level, but he's clearly the number 1 guy in this draft, and I think by a decent margin. So they're going to have some real balanced offense. And even if the substance abuse it becomes an issue, they still have Justin Buchanan, who is pretty good. So I actually think that's a decent pick.
Yeah, I'm in a boat where I like it but don't like it at the same time. I like it because it feels a nice hole for him. Rodgers is a really good talent. I'm not sold on him being top 10, especially with substance abuse issues.
This is our first player with character issues taken in our history.
Wasn't oh, never mind. I thought one other player was picked.
I don't think so.
When was the last time 2 players from the same school got picked in the top 10?
Probably that draft where Texas had like 1 million players, but I'm not sure.
The clock is no longer counting down in Spiral. Oh, there we go. I hit start, but it didn't go.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Packers are up again. They really, I feel like that Pittsburgh trade where they got this 2nd pick is going to make the Packers a real contender either this year or next year because they already got Marquise Reed. They can get a lot of really good players here. They can get Lucas Hurd. They don't really need a center, but I feel like you can't really pass up on him if you
Man,
he's like one of the best centers to ever come out. I feel like.
I can't believe that he hasn't been picked yet. It's crazy to me.
They could also go Akil.
Yeah.
Or Taylor Randolph. I mean, their tackles are pretty good, but I wouldn't expect them to take him. But I feel like there's so many good players here that they can pick up. I would have a tough time choosing here, honestly.
This seems like a good landing spot for Akil, I feel. That or Okonkwo in a 4-3.
So the Akil story is the biggest drop of this draft so far, I guess.
It always happens to inside linebackers, though.
It does always happen to inside linebackers. Haywood and Tunch.
Trade rumor coming in. The Ravens are looking to trade down.
Tunch was actually a top 10 pick, I think.
He was 11th, I think, but he was supposed to be like top 4.
That's
a lot of people had him going possibly
the problem
one.
Tunch had that dropped him was his injury thing. Yeah. Otherwise, I probably would have taken him.
Going back to the Rodgers pick, I'm not as high on Terrence Rodgers as I think some people are. He had a really good year at Mississippi State, it can't be denied, but I really wasn't a big fan of the running backs in this class. I had Rodgers as a top 20 grade, but definitely not top 10.
I had him graded around top 20 as well, but I think there aren't enough good running backs in this draft, so it can bump him up a little bit. I think he's a little overdrafted, but I don't think it's horrific. Like, I think he should have probably been like 14, 15, 16 range. I don't know what they're going to do because they have Justin Buchanan. I guess they could run like a 2 running back set for a little while or something. I just feel like it's a waste to have Buchanan.
Green Bay's pick is in. And yeah, Buchanan there is a power guy though. He's Rodgers' speed, so
yeah. With the 10th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, Green Bay Packers select Lucas Hurd, center, Alabama. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock.
This has been a fantastic draft for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, so now that all the people have been taken that I liked, I can now let you know that I think that the four players I think that have the best future ahead of them, and from what I've seen, most likely, are Tyler Jones, Raheem, Lucas Hurd, and then I think it's Marquise Reed. Those are my.
And Green Bay got 2 of those guys.
So those are the 4 I suspect are going to be. Those were the 4 people I had graded highest. So I was wavering a little between Raheem, Marquise Reed, and I assumed Lucas Hurd was going 4 to Tampa Bay. I think he's probably going to be the best offensive lineman that we've seen in 5 years at least.
Very solid 2 picks from Packers there.
Seattle is interesting. I don't really know what they need aside from a running back.
They need a running back, and I think that was one reason why the Chiefs might have taken Rodgers.
And they could use a quarterback too because they don't have.
It could be Fisher, but I think that might be.
They might re-sign Williams, but I don't know.
Who did the Seahawks bring in at running back? I know they got rid of both Tyndale and Duckworth.
Did they take? Are they the team that took Booker T? No, right?
Yes. They are, I think.
We still got Akil up. And Okonkwo also sliding from some preseason stuff.
And I know this has been talked about a lot, but I think Brett Fisher to Seattle would be an excellent pick.
I think it's too soon. I think they'd have to trade down a little. I think this would be a bit of a reach.
I don't think Seattle will take Akil because they have
Malcolm Douglas
Scott, who's like one of the best will linebackers. So they would have to like run up 3-4. And I don't think Houston will take him because they have Williams. So Chicago, maybe?
Somebody was asking me why I think Lucas Hurd is so good, aside from his pro day and stuff. I think that Lucas Hurd is one reason why Alabama went as far as they did this last season, because they had a fairly mediocre running back, and Rory Weston is okay, not great, but I think Hurd really picked it up in the center. I'm sure Randy can speak to this a little bit, but I think his O-line really carried it, and Hurd is definitely the head of that O-line based on all the pro day stuff and combine stuff.
I'm going to make a not so boldish prediction here. I think Okonkwo goes.
I don't like that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It's possible.
Texans looking
What
to
about
trade down
Taylor
to
Randolph for Seattle?
Yeah, I think Taylor Randolph is probably the best choice here, but I think they've taken O-line like 4 out of 5 years or something.
Yeah, they've got last year they got John Eaton out of Penn State. Looks like he progressed really well. They also got James Poindexter out of Nebraska. He's decent, but Randolph would be an upgrade there. They still do have Walter Adair.
He's getting
Barnes.
old though.
Pick is in.
With the 11th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, Seattle Seahawks select Christian Okonkwo, Oregon defensive tackle. The Houston Texans are now on the clock.
Yeah, I'm not terribly surprised. I don't like it that high, but I think it's a good fit here.
The Texans this is where I had it marked, where I really don't know what's going to happen anymore. Like from here on out, really.
I think for sure they're taking the Ohio State corner.
They are looking to trade down.
A lot of people have been looking to trade down so far, and nobody wants to trade up. So
This is a weird draft this year. I don't know.
and Mai's looking to trade back into the first from number 40.
Of course he is.
I'm pretty sure I had Okonkwo going to Atlanta at 15, and I think that would have been a good fit.
I think that would have been a better fit. I still don't like Okonkwo, but I think that would have been an okay fit.
I'm a little different than you guys. I actually don't think Okonkwo is an overdraft there, though. I feel like it's an appropriate position. I'm not sure if that's their biggest need. It might be. I haven't really looked at their team very closely, to be honest.
The Packers have officially trade listed their current center, who's an 82 fourth year, John Hinton.
Seattle needed a defensive tackle, but it wasn't nearly as big as their center need. Of course, you're not going to get a center after Hurd goes, though. If the Texans do pick here, it's probably Turner. Corner is very bad for Houston.
If they pick Turner after having Hawkins on the team. I think they're in a kind of shit position right now, honestly. They need a running back so badly, and they just can't get one. They could, honestly, if they wanted to, they could take Pacheco. I feel like it's not that awful. Blacknall would be too much of a...
I don't think there's another running back that should be taken this high.
I agree. I'm just saying, if they really want a running back.
They don't have a second round pick though, because they traded it for Marvin White.
What? They traded a second round pick for Mark White?
Marvin White.
Oh, Marvin White. I thought you meant the Duke quarterback. I was like, what? So they're not gonna have that means they're not gonna have a running back again this year unless they take one here. They'll just sell out on the pass, and Houston's sailing its way to another 6-10 season.
Buzz Etcherby, and they're like C. McGill's formula has not been very good for running backs.
I think everything that they need right now is a reach. Running back, cornerback's kind of a reach. They don't need a line. No, they have Blair Williams. Yeah, I don't know what this is going to be, honestly.
See, Miguel says trades aren't working on the interface.
Oh, that means I got one.
Uh-oh.
Post it on the forum for now, and if you still got plenty of time, but have Inspire look
See if
into it.
Spiral can look at it right now, yeah. If not, we'll figure something out temporarily.
So, who trades up here?
I don't know.
I'm not sure who they trade up for. I guess Akil. It's got to be Akil.
It has to be Akil.
I like how McGill's first reaction is to just spam "trades aren't working" in interface in all caps on the shout box over and over again.
I feel like it could be Atlanta.
What?
Because Sage recruited Akil, and he's like in love with him, and they kind of need an inside linebacker.
Have we thought about Carolina perhaps trading up here?
For Henry? I doubt it.
No, for Akil.
Carolina wants Henry.
Cade has been circle jerking himself about Henry for like a week, so.
Akil would still be a decent pickup, but I don't know what Cade thinks.
We have the birth of a new meme. Trades
If it comes down to it, just you can pause the clock, right?
Yeah, I can. You want me to? I'll wait until there's 100 seconds left, and then I'll pause it.
Also, the supposed Trevor killed for Blakely idea here.
Shitbox is officially useless for the next 20 minutes. And Spiral said he made a test trade and it worked, so I call bullshit. It looks like the pick is with Arizona? Or no, that was just a test, never mind. It was just in Spiral's test trade. So you got 3 minutes left, Houston.
Maybe it's their password is an issue. Make sure you're typing it in right.
Houston, we have a
See if
problem.
Where did I send their password?
I tried to avoid that joke, Selena, please.
Come on, I work for that kind of stuff. I can do those jokes. Every year we have password problems. 2 minutes left.
I just updated their password just to make sure it works.
Try a different browser, McGill. He says he doesn't get the option to even enter a password.
You don't put in a password until you make a new trade, and then you put in this information, and then you confirm it. There is no thing to do. You create the trade first, which they apparently have not done.
This is why we don't use Internet Explorer.
2 minutes left. Get ready to snipe Bears.
You mean the Bears
The
are going
Bears are going to get sniped again.
No, the Bears are
doing
because
sniping.
I was going to say. Well, they are. If the trade happens, they are going to get sniped. But
Rome apparently figured out how to do the trade, so. Oh, it's New England. New England trades their first and second.
Wow, climbing.
Pats, why?
To move up 10 spots. That's a good trade for both teams, I guess. New England's on the clock for 80 seconds.
Now, can we see the Pats not do it in time so the Bears can get payback from last year?
Picks in. With the 12th pick of the 2020 draft, the New England Patriots select Taylor Randolph, tackle, Iowa. The Bears are now on the clock.
Wow, snipe the Bears.
I think they sniped the Bears.
Yeah.
2 years in a row. And roughly the same pick.
Well, on the bright side, now they can take a Keel, and I think it's a great fit. I would be really surprised if they don't take a Keel right now.
I think the Bears do run the 3-4 defense, though. And that's a lot of people's question about Akil.
They do run a 3-4, and Akil is not good in a 3-4.
Oh, happy.
It's Spiral's having a stroke in the shelf box. No, you can't do that because it's fucking broken. Everyone from...
Fucking everyone in the AFC North or AFC East is going for tackles. Fucking Brum. Just make people scared.
It's not a bad idea. This is a direct answer to Brum. And Randolph should outlive Brum if they stay on the same team. I like it. I think it's a good trade, good pick. I think this is a weird draft. I've liked almost everything.
I don't know what the Bears are going to pick here.
I think Akil is not the answer unless they switch their defense.
Yeah, it's I
Picks
don't.
in with the 13th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft. The Chicago Bears select Akil Morris, inside linebacker, Nevada. The Raiders are now on the clock.
Yeah, not terribly fond of that unless they change the defense, of course, which I don't think we're going to do.
I mean, I think it's good value at this point, no matter what. But yeah,
they have Medley, so they can easily switch to a 3-4 or a 4-3.
I feel like that's not what Medley's good at, so I think that could be a problem.
Well, I think it's a really good pick. Even if they run him out of scheme for a little while, I think long term it's a good pick and the best value at that spot. They didn't really need much else, so
yeah, it's definitely best value here. Raiders. I could see a pass rusher coming in here. They're just going to resurrect Blackman.
yeah. Fucking
All that would actually be good for Bears.
fucking Patriots drafted a couple years ago. Raheem, or was it Robinson? Ryan Robinson, and they fucking traded him. Fucking Dean. Yeah.
Please don't. I think it's going to be a pass rusher here. So one of Jennings or Vereen, probably.
I agree. I think it's going to be Shavarine.
Pick is in.
Yeah, him going in the earlier rounds in these mocks really got me on edge. This is a guy I wanted to pick up at 25. I had picked up on him earlier in the year, and then had my scout do some extensive research into him. Vereen's going to be a good player. I can feel it.
Well, I certainly hope so, because my D-line needs a lot of work. It's pretty much the only spot on my defense where I have a big hole. Well, outside linebacker too, but there's really not. This is a really terrible outside linebacker class. So.
McBride's an option.
I could see them going Sam Hiller-Weeden, maybe. Maybe they pick up Curtis Henry. I would like that a lot, actually. Curtis Henry. You jump Carolina, who really wants him, and you're in their division.
Oh, my mic
Plus,
was
they have
broken. The pick was Shaw Vereen to the Raiders. Sorry, it finally timed out.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I would like Curtis Henry here a lot. I feel like it could also be one of the other defensive ends to pair with what's the guy that took last year? Yeah. I guess it could also be a corner. They don't really have a good second corner, but their secondary is so good. I don't really see that as a huge need.
I mean, second corner is a position that could be filled with Blake Turner. But I agree, it's not exactly the biggest need here. I don't like McBride up here, but I feel like that's probably what we're going to do.
I think that would be the worst pick in the draft so far, without a doubt. I don't even have one of the defensive tackles in my top 10 remaining D-line players.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a prediction and say it's Curtis Henry.
I think that might be too high. I feel like Sam Hiller-Weeden would be pretty good here.
I like the receivers though. They have Bo Woodall and
that's true.
The guy who was on Miami, Riddick Smith.
He's getting old though. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to.
He is getting old, but I don't know. I kind of like that receiving core. They don't even have a tight end. I don't think.
Preston Gold, isn't it?
They let him go in free agency.
Oscar Fisk. Do we still have Oscar Fisk?
I don't even know who that is, so it's not very good.
Younger tight end out of Washington, also rated higher, and a receiving tight end. And 6'8", wow.
There's a small possibility that it could be Brett Fisher, but I don't think they're gonna go with the quarterback because they did take up AJ Jefferson's fifth-year option. So
maybe they're trying to trade based on how long this is taking.
I feel like a lot of the people that they wanted are just off the board, so I wouldn't be surprised.
It could have been a Conco or bust for him. I'm not entirely sure. They need help at defensive tackle.
Pick is in. With the 15th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Eric Jennings, defensive end, Oregon. The Washington Redskins are now on the clock.
So here's the defensive end run we were talking about.
Yep.
There's another Eric Jennings in this draft. Quarterback.
Sage did say he projected and Eric Jennings to be the biggest bust of the draft. I think we figured out which one.
So just to talk about our pick, I guess, right to the very end, when Akil started falling, we got pretty excited, especially when the guys that traded up with Houston didn't end up taking Akil. Bears did their move, though, and we sort of have to go back to our board. Okonkwo was already off the table, who was an elite defensive tackle and very high on Christian Okonkwo. And it really came down to Eric Jennings and Sam Hiller-Weeden at that point. I think Jennings does more for our team right now, and Sam Hiller-Weeden would have been more of a luxury pick.
So what I don't really understand, and this is something I'd like to ask you, is you took Early Davis last year. Can you really afford taking 2 defensive ends back-to-back in the first round? Not even just from like a team perspective, but from like a contract situation. You have a lot invested in like relatively young defensive ends now, while AJJ is having some offensive issues. That's just the one thing I don't understand.
We're subscribing to the Buffalo Bills team building manual of just get really good pass rushers and hope for the best. In all honesty, Early was being played sort of out of scheme. We run a 3-4 last year at Atlanta. We've been thinking about switching it up, and I think with yet another pass rusher to add to our team, that's something we need to look at. Eric Jennings is pretty raw. I think he had a really low readiness score in the pro days, but with his athleticism, it's just really hard to pass up at that 15 spot.
So this upcoming draft pick will be the first Redskins first-round pick in 2 years.
Yeah. I have them taking Sam Hiller-Weeden or Cook here because they really need a receiver, I feel like.
Not going to get a solid inside linebacker here. I think one of his 2 receivers is a better bet right now.
I guess you could start seeing some guards taken. I'm not sure what their outside linebackers are, but Whiting might be an option as well. Whiting, whatever. Whiting. I don't know which it is, but.
Whiting. Yeah, that'd be a solid-ish pickup, but I don't think that's what they need right now.
For what it's worth, Bright Falls is not on, but apparently Nevada Jack is going to make the pick. Or Nephew Jack. No, I called him Nevada Jack.
That's like a cowboy.
Well, he's coaching Nevada. Nephew Jack is making the pick because I gave him the password, so. So 2 Oregon players have been taken already.
Yeah, 2 Oregon, 2 Mississippi State. That's it. SEC is leading with 6 taken. 3 of which are defensive ends. The shout box is currently bumping for Nevada Jack. Damn, we are fucking mass printing new memes here.
We're not even in the 4th round yet. Come on, guys.
What do you guys think of Dexter Flowers? He's 82. He's still on the board.
He'd be good value at this point going down. That said, I think this fall is expected, but he'd be a good pick from here on out.
I would like to see somebody snipe Curtis Henry from Carolina because I really don't want him to go to Carolina.
Eagles looking to trade up from number 29. Have we heard anything from the Redskins organization?
Yeah, I EPM me to ask for password draft. So.
Oh, okay.
He is bumping in the shout box, so he's alive.
Okay.
My guess is Nephew Jack is probably waiting to see if Bright Falls actually gets on, because it didn't seem like he knew that he wasn't going to be here beforehand. So
Right, Falls forgot the draft exists since he hasn't drafted in a while.
He's used to not drafting on day one.
fucking since the Bears, everyone other than Randolph that the Patriots will take in the draft will get paid less money than the Patriots paid Joshua Andrews this year, who they cut like 2 years ago because Dean was a fucking idiot.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do we think that the Redskins will take whichever receiver they prefer in Hiller, Wheaton, and Cook here? I think that's the sensible choice. I think it's also very good value.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would not be surprised if it's one of those two, Curtis Henry, or maybe Donald Reed, the offensive tackle. Maybe the guard, Benson Gifford. I'm not sure what their O-line situation is like, but
They got one solid guard in Clayton Williams, but a second one would be beneficial. I do think that one of Hiller, Wheaton, or Cook is the best choice right now.
I have 1 minute, 1.5 minutes left.
the memeing is out of control.
One minute.
Who follows up the Skins?
Carolina.
Oh boy.
It's definitely gonna be Curtis Henry for Carolina. Washington doesn't pick him or trade it.
That is such a good fit, and it's so scary.
Pick is in. With the 16th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Sam Hiller-Wheaton, wide receiver, Fresno State. The Carolina Panthers are now on the clock.
I wonder.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. They definitely needed a receiver, and a lot of people like Wheaton more than Cook. Not sure which is better overall. Combine, I think Cook had a better combine, but Wheaton, I think, had a better college career.
I honestly can't choose between those two, which I like more. I do like both very much, though.
So, how long do you think it's going to take Kay to pick Curtis Henry?
He's probably taking
He'll figure out a way to
one
fuck
last
up.
drink of his beer, slamming it down, and spamming Curtis Henry in the shout box for 5 minutes before he puts in his password.
I wonder Oh yeah, remember if you make a trade on the interface, you also have to make it on the forum. I just noticed that they did that, but I just want to
Oh yeah,
remind
Cade
people.
got Chudzinski as offensive coordinator, and he's all tight end focused.
And remember, Skaggs made Bob Branch an All-Pro.
I'm scared.
You're scared. Sage and I have to deal with him twice a year.
It's going to be very fun. At the same time, Curtis Henry might be the first round pick to have the least statistical output through his career. I think he only had 12 receptions this year for 200 yards.
To be fair, he's on Utah State.
Yeah, Utah State's not exactly known for even decent quarterbacks.
He is mostly hype, though. Is somebody playing Harvest Moon? Or like Stardew Valley or something? That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, I think with tight ends, though, I don't think college stats are necessarily the end-all be-all because you have guys who had amazing college stats, like what's the guy on Baltimore? I'm really bad with names, if you haven't noticed.
Lewis Peterson out of Oklahoma State.
I'm talking about tight end.
Danny Patrick.
Yeah, Danny Patrick had amazing stats, and he's been fairly disappointing in the pros. And you have Scott Howard, who like had almost no stats, I think, and he's the best tight end in the league. So,
Just according to Notorious, just remember Skaggs lost to 3 interceptions, 0 touchdown, less than 100 passing yard RJ Stanford. Oh, we are also exactly halfway through the first round.
I really feel like tight end is a position that's been really undervalued by a lot of teams. I'm surprised Cade is taking this long. Maybe is he even here? I wonder if he knows this is a pick.
I would laugh so hard if he gets sniped for Henry.
I know the Eagles were trying to trade up to draft Henry.
Who the fuck are these people talking in the shout box? I see like DJ Drew with no team assigned to him. Lady Killer. Like where all these it's like all the alts are coming out today.
Isn't Lady Killer on someone's team?
Georgia State.
No, I mean in NFL. I think he got hired as a scout or something.
Oh.
Is he on the Giants, maybe?
I
That's
don't think so.
Believer, I think.
Well, Believer's head coach there now.
Carolina has 4 minutes left. Eagles are trying to move up in the draft. Kay doesn't know the team username.
It's your abbreviation, CAR.
That's some Dean shit.
By the way, just about my pick, again, I didn't really talk about it too much, but I was serious. Like, the reason why I traded up was I really wanted to take Taylor Randolph. but I was pretty sure he wasn't going to drop to me. So Shavarine was like my second pick. I was thinking about the future because my left tackle is in his 6th year. So I'm just looking to try and pick somebody up, but didn't work out. But I like Shavarine anyway.
With the 17th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Curtis Henry, tight end, Utah State. Henry thing is possible.
No one is surprised.
My mind is blown.
The Bengals are now on the clock.
So I said I was gonna say this at the end of the draft, but my pick for the Super Bowl right now is the Carolina Panthers.
Damn. That's
I think
some
their
first
team.
take shit.
I think their team is, barring injuries to like either like Skaggs or their running back again, or like one of their like star players. I feel like they're going to be the best team in the NFC.
You realize they haven't won a playoff game.
I realize that, but I feel like they would have won this year if they didn't have the injury to Lando.
They're going to have to beat the Lions in the NFC Championship game first.
No, the Lions can't make it out of the divisional round. Keep in mind the Panthers, they play the AFC North, so that's like pretty easy wins, I feel like.
So are we going to shit on this tight end at 17 overall with no stats?
No.
I'm so scared.
He's the Sim Hunter Henry clone.
I think since he's going to pick Blake Turner, I would be surprised if they take anything other than the corner here because they traded Seaburns. And I think Blake Turner should have probably already been drafted personally.
Oh, I totally forgot about Blake Turner.
Yeah.
They should take Tom Wyman.
Don't tempt him.
What's Proletariat talking about? He's talking about Curtis Henry. He said 202 pounds, homie needs to eat a donut. He's 6'6", 202 pounds. Fucking like 8-inch waist.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm 6'4", and like if I was 202 pounds, I feel like I'd look like I could just give out
The slimmest Reaper. So what do we suspect Blake Turner, or are we just projecting what they're gonna pick here? This could also be Martin Whiting. I don't think they have outside linebacker. Right? He's not gonna take him.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Whiting.
It's
I guess they
drafting, by the way.
Yeah, I guess they could go for. It's definitely not going to be offense because they traded so much for offense this year to try and make Joel King worth it. So I don't see how they could possibly justify taking a receiver, maybe an offensive lineman, but
Russell
Benson
Gifford.
Yeah, no, they have good guards and a good center. I feel like tackle would be the one if they were going to take one. Because they traded Ryan Robinson for some reason.
That guy's like
cursed. I don't know why he fucking gets traded every year, but I wish somebody would trade him to me. That'd be great.
I'll give you a 5th rounder. Actually, because I'm nice, I'll give you a 4th rounder.
I feel like they might need a safety, but I don't think any of the safeties are worth taking here.
Michael Williams.
Yeah, no safety is worth it right now.
Maybe they take a chance on Dexter Flowers. I think he's value here. I think that he's being really brought down by that combine, it seems like. A lot of people had him in the top 10 before that.
I just can't fathom this not being Flowers. Or, I mean, not Flowers. Turner.
Dexter Flowers shattered the sack record with 17. Granted, he was playing in Conference USA, but that's still 17 sacks.
Yeah, it's super impressive.
They're all whispering touchdown at Trey.
Does Trey have the password? Because I think I sent it to Danger.
I don't think he knows he's drafting. Oh wait, he said y'all
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
I'm drafted. You got 4 minutes left. Up next, by the way, are Miami, Denver, Los Angeles Rams, Houston, and Baltimore. Getting into the playoff teams. Oh, what's the first playoff team? The Rams.
Yeah, I forgot the Chargers last year. They traded their defensive end to the Bills, and then they drafted a defensive end, and now they drafted another defensive end.
That makes no sense. 3 minutes left for the Bengals. Also, that Curtis Henry pick just now was originally the Vikings pick, but he moved down like 20 spots for like a third rounder or something.
I think it was a fourth rounder.
Or sorry, he moved down 8 spots.
I don't know why he thought he had to move up just for that. I don't know who.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have taken him, but he did secure him, so it would have been awkward if he didn't get him. I feel like that should have been a conditional trade. Also, that was 2 Mountain West players back to back, and 3 of 5 of the last picks. Crazy. Who would have thought Utah State has a first round pick of all teams? Colts are trying to move up actively. Cincinnati has 2 minutes left.
Since Trey's picky, he can totally take that linebacker that stayed for way too long.
Brett Willett. Uh, 1.5 minutes.
I would honestly be surprised if it's anyone but Blake Turner.
It's the most logical, and it's the only smart move here.
Pick is in.
With the 18th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Blake Turner, cornerback, Ohio State. Miami Dolphins are now on the clock.
As expected. I actually expected him to go earlier, but since we got this far, I love that pick for them, actually. I feel like he's going to be a solid number 1 corner in a couple of years. He's not going to be great right away, I feel like, but a year or two starting, he'll be pretty damn good. He's not a ball hawk, though, is the thing.
He's exactly like Seaver, is what I'm...
Yeah, he's good in coverage. He's just not good at getting picked.
He's exactly like Seaver. I think he's like the same player.
My thing stuck down. I think it is. Oh, there we go.
Alright, let's see what Smackins does.
I think Jeremy Cook should be the play. I think wide receiver and Jeremy Cook is really good value here, in my opinion.
I don't like Jeremy Cook at all, so that seems about right for what they would take. I voted for him as being the bust for this draft.
I voted for Jaheim Lemons.
Is that
Even
really
though
a
he's
bust
not
though?
a
'Cause I don't think he's gonna
first-rounder.
get taken.
Yeah, I figured that was implied.
Well, if he's drafted, he's a bust, in my opinion.
I don't think he's gonna get drafted until like the third round. At which point, I don't think he's the bust.
He's like, what's that guy on the Colts with 20 points? Tyrone McGee. He's like that guy.
20. The guy on the Colts with 20 points.
Fucking Tyrone Concussion McGee. If this is not Cook, I could see them taking Flowers or Donald Reed. Marcellus Peterson's getting up there.
That would be the sensible thing to do.
Yeah, this should probably be either Flowers or Cook, neither of which are great picks, but they're not bad by any means.
I'm shitting all over Cook if it's Cook.
The worst pick here. What do you think that would be?
The worst pick would be like Michael Williams or something.
I think it'd be Brett Fisher.
This could be Martin Whiting, actually. Oh wait, no, they traded for Robinson. Never mind.
Yeah. I think a bad pick here would be picking a strong safety. It's a need, but it's also a reach right now.
I just realized, I think that with that Taylor Randolph pick to the Patriots, they've drafted like so many Iowa players, it's ridiculous. Loins want to trade up or down. Not sure what that means.
Good old Loin.
They just want to trade. 6 minutes left.
Who do you guys think has the best coordinator combos? Does anyone really look
Jaguars.
into that? Aside from your own team.
I mean, I like what Kay did, getting the OC to match Curtis Henry. Yeah. I also kind of like Jay Gruden of the Bears.
I didn't realize the Cowboys have Clyde Christensen, who is a QB wide receiver guru. That is really good for Graham Burnett.
They don't have a
I
wide
love
receiver. Miami's pick is in. With the 19th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Dexter Flowers, defensive end, Southern Miss. Broncos are now on the clock.
I like that pick because that means he's not going to the Broncos.
I hate that pick because it means it's not falling to us. But really, that's good for the Dolphins. Characteristics aside, I think this guy's going to be good.
Everybody's going to be good. It's going to be peachy. All going to live happiness together forever.
Rainbows and sunshine. It's what everyone wants.
What does Bingo take? Who was their pick last year? I don't even remember.
Discreto is their GM. Bingo's not around.
Oh, that's true.
They took that corner late in the
Patrick Mitchell.
Patrick Mitchell. I feel like he wasn't that good.
I don't even wait. Patrick Mitchell, the corner. Yeah, he's not good.
This could be Martin Whiting. They got a pair of older outside linebackers that aren't really
They
good.
don't have a quarterback other than Todd Jennings. If Brett Fisher doesn't go here, he doesn't go in the first round.
That's true.
Unless someone trades up.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, I think he probably goes to the Titans tomorrow and becomes their Mariota-ish.
The Titans would have had a slam dunk draft.
Oh, picks in. Oh, this is such a bingo Discreto pick. With the 20th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, Denver Broncos select Russell Benson Gifford, guard, South Carolina. The Rams are now on the clock.
I like that pick a lot. Easily the best guard in this class based on the pro days. All the other ones have like significant questions about them, but he's really solid.
The notorious RBG is going to be incredible for that Denver interior line for years to come. He's such a good player. He's an absolute steal this late in the first, in my opinion.
I'm just saying I regret not trading up because it's like 4 guys that I expected to maybe fall. RBG is just going to be a monster.
Yeah, I don't know who they go here. They've got a pretty solid team overall.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but I don't think he's like first round replacement worthy of, you know. Yeah, they're definitely going to take one in the second round. I would be incredibly surprised if they don't. Rambo is fucking garbage. Dallas
They
took
took-
Burnett. Yeah. I don't think it'll happen, but I feel like the Rams kind of need a tight end. Jordan Kemp is available, but the problem is he's not really a receiving threat, so I feel like he's not a good fit for them. Well, he doesn't have the fucking. He doesn't have the drinking problem, though. At least not known. Maybe they go Dylan or Donald Reed here. The offensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. I don't know what the tackle situation is like, but I feel like that's one of the best picks at this point. They could also. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Whiting.
I don't know anything about the Rams. I don't know why.
Maybe Jared Self.
Best current corners available are Eugene Malone, Wyman, Prince Williams. So nothing there really. Michael Williams, Corey Davis. Safeties are coming up strong, starting to.
They don't need a safety. They have
Souter.
Souter. Yeah, he's really good.
My guess is a good offensive lineman. I'm sure they would have really wanted Benson Gifford.
Rams are looking for their team name. STL.
It's-
STL? Okay.
Yeah. I thought I changed that last year, but I guess not.
We'll fix it. I'll fix it overnight. I think I can do it.
Oh yeah, Benson Gifford's the second South Carolina player drafted.
Weird.
They weren't even good.
They haven't been good like at all.
Colts had Russell Benson Gifford as their number one target, which is not surprising since he's mocked them so many mocks.
It seems like one of us isn't hearable in the
We
broadcast.
Okay, I think the issue is when the picks were put in by Inspiral, he put them in as St. Louis instead of LA. So their password probably doesn't work because I put the password in as LA. So let me try and fix that.
I have access to the admin stuff too. Let me look.
I gotta put it. Who did I send that password to? I guess Happy probably, right?
We should probably pause the clock if it gets to 100 seconds.
Yeah, I'll wait until it gets to 100. Should be good.
I guess we're paused. What are everyone's thoughts so far?
All right, I just changed the St. Louis password to what the LA one should have been. So try doing it now and see if you can pick.
Oh, apparently me and Alien are using the same account for the draft admin stuff. So I changed the password like an hour ago, and I guess Spiral changed it again for Alien, so this is confusing.
Oh. Well, I changed the password. I was just on it.
That's annoying, because I just changed it to something for myself.
The Rams pick is in.
No, I didn't change. I changed the password for the Rams, not for.
With the 21st pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Self, defensive end, Michigan. Texans are now on the clock.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Self because he didn't put up a lot of stats on Michigan, but I think he had a fairly decent pro day. So, and his combine was not bad. I don't really hate the pick.
Yeah, I'm one of those that probably doesn't like Self all that much. I don't think it's a terrible pick by any means, though.
I didn't realize the Texans had a second pick.
They traded down.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe this is where they pick up a running back.
I don't. Yeah, I guess the value is better now.
I suppose they could still pick up one of these corners, Wyman or Harris. I don't know if they like either of those guys.
I'm guessing Pacheco.
I actually have my highest rated corners are Malone, Wyman, and Williams.
Doesn't Malone have that, like, the conduct issue? Or is that the other LSU corner?
No, the other one's much worse, Ronnie Bailey.
Oh yeah, Ronnie Bailey has the issues. I gotta say, looking at what's happened in the draft so far, I'm extremely glad that I traded up.
Yeah, man, you would have been fucked. My quick thoughts so far. Best and worst picks. So you guys have something to circle jerk over. Opinion wise.
Houston Pickett's in.
With the 22nd pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Arturo Pacheco, running back, Iowa State. The Ravens are now on the clock.
Shaky-ish pick here.
Overdraft.
Completely understood that. Yeah, I like Pacheco, but probably an overdraft here. Then again, a lot of players they could have picked here.
In Spiral, now that I have Marquise Reed, I can threaten Emperor of Orange to start Corey Mendoza. Otherwise, I start Reed at running back and he breaks his neck.
Well,
Oh, my mic was broken again. Sorry. They picked Pacheco. So what was I saying? Oh, so three best picks and three worst picks. My quick thoughts so you guys can circle jerk. Best picks: Marquise Reed to the Packers, Hurd to the Packers, C.J. Thomas to the Browns. Worst picks: Aaron Blakely to the Bucks is the worst one by far. Then probably Miller to the Chargers. Then Okonkwo to the Seahawks.
none of those are terribly surprising.
The Okonkwo one I don't feel as badly about as the other one. I just don't like it. I don't like him.
Shout out to the Russell Benson Gifford pick to the Broncos.
That's a solid pick too, but I don't think it's top three.
I really don't know what the Ravens do with this pick.
This could be Fisher. This is the last chance for Fisher. Unless somebody trades up again. No, this is the last chance for Fisher. Everybody else has a quarterback.
I don't think they're going to go with Fisher, though. I think they're going to either pick a running back here or maybe an offensive lineman. I feel like the value at this point in the draft for the first round is really poor for the positions that they need.
I think in general, the value in the first round is pretty poor in the low to mid 20s.
Like, I feel like Martin Whiting is a good pick, but they have two outside linebackers that are great already.
They have Tyrone Jones.
Yeah, and they also have What's that? They have another outside linebacker that they drafted in the first round a couple of years ago. Forget which one.
Oh, Lewis Peterson, also first round.
Yeah, so they don't need that. I feel like they could get a tackler or guard. Otherwise, it's a running back, and it's whoever they prefer. But I feel like the value is not good here.
Yeah, Donald Reed is the best value pick left on the board, or on my board, but I don't know what the Ravens' offensive tackle situation is.
Yeah, I agree. Donald Reed is probably one of the better remaining ones.
Ravens have an older, decent player in Greg Foster. This would be a good pickup, I think. Definitely not what we're looking for, though.
I think one of the big fallers is Jeremy Cook. There's a lot of talk of Jeremy Cook maybe being a top 15 pick, and we see him slowly sliding down.
Pick was traded to the Eagles.
Ooh.
Interesting. Maybe this is that Jordan Kemp, because they are a running team. They could use a blocker.
I feel like it's not worth the first round pick to draft.
I feel like
blocking
it's
player.
Donald Reed, though.
I did tell him when I traded him Alan Taylor. I said, "Bro, Terry, please make sure you wrap him up, keep him safe." And he said he would.
I think this is arguably worse for Donald Reed.
They have not submitted their pick yet, so that's interesting.
Make sure you post a trade on the forum as well.
Yeah, everybody that's traded, please do that. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing.
You will lose draft picks next year if you don't.
Listen to the man. He has the power to do that. I said over under 3 trades in the first round, and we've had 2? No, 3. No, 2.
It's 2.
I wonder, maybe Philly likes Cook. Do you think maybe they need a receiver?
It's actually a pretty good trade. They gave up a 4th to move up 6-7 spots. It's pretty good.
I think that's standard. That's
Picks
what Kay
in.
gave up.
With the 23rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Martin Whiting, outside linebacker, UNC. Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock.
Well, finally got Whiting off the board. Kind of like that.
I like it.
Yeah, their defense is not a world beater, but it's slightly above average, so I think that'll be a nice addition for them.
Yeah, that's an immediate improvement on that linebacker core.
Did they get a running back?
No. Oh yeah, they got Cole or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So no.
So yeah, maybe this is Cook.
They also don't have a safety. They don't have anything outside of a quarterback, really. They also traded away their starting defensive end.
Well, he wasn't very good, I don't think. But maybe they go for a defensive end here. There's still couple on the
I think
board.
it's not value right now. They're not great for this area.
This Isaiah Hall would be the only one really left.
Isaiah Hall is the highest rated I have left, yeah.
They still need corners. They could go Jordan Harris or Tom Wyman or Eugene.
Proletariat asked about why he traded up. Outside linebacker is an empty pit of misery and shame, except for like 1.5 guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's really bad outside of him and Darcy. And Darcy is, I don't think, a first rounder. And if he is, it's just because there's so few of them. Yeah, the Vikings really have to do something about their secondary. They're still they've tried to address it, but they've just been unable to really.
Dude, their whole team is garbage.
They're just gonna get destroyed through the air again every fucking game.
They had Manning to fix it, but now they traded him.
And they had a really good offense, so they could keep themselves in games. I feel like they're going to be so bad this year that they'll have a top pick and be able to get a top corner next year, maybe. But next year's draft doesn't look very good for corners from what I've seen. I don't know. I guess I still think Reed is the best value here. I don't know who in the next couple of picks would take him, though. A lot of these teams that are left right now have plenty at offensive tackle.
Seven minutes left.
Might start seeing one of these other defensive tackles go off the board, like McKinney or McBride. It is getting pretty late in the first.
I'm a really big fan that we moved to Discord for this draft. It's just a lot better than everything we were using in the past.
That's a lot more manageable.
P.S. Join our Minecraft server.
Yes, advertising for our Minecraft server. It's nice to have the chat consolidated with the voice. It's really good.
And unlike Google Hangouts, there's push to talk, which is the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we'd be hearing the aquarium 24/7. Do the Vikings know they're on the clock? It's been very quiet.
Yeah, I think I saw people on this in the chat box like a minute ago.
Nephew Jack has started a petition to get his name changed to Nevada Jack. I guess he'll do it if he gets 50 signatures or something. Oh wait, Panther started it.
Vikings taking their sweet ass time with this. Maybe they're trying to trade. Paper Llamas doesn't seem to make terrible trades, so that wouldn't be surprising.
This is gonna be like he moves down 10 spots and gives up next year's first.
He didn't know the username. I think he's on it now.
Bum's putting it bad at Jack. Take us in. Saluna.
The 24th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, Minnesota Vikings select Donald Reed, tackle, Virginia Tech. Saints are now on the clock.
Good pick. Value there.
Really though, because they need so much shit and they don't have any picks.
I like that pick. Maybe not what they needed the most, but it's good value.
Best player on the board. I think it's a good pick.
There are
Offensive line is good.
worst picks they could have had here. And we are on the clock.
Oh yeah, the Saints are on the clock.
A really terrible pick would have been that Black Null guy out of UAB.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what they do here. I don't think they need a wide receiver. They might go. I think they might go guard. Because they were talking about how they wanted Benson.
Keep in mind that they picked twice in 3 picks.
I know. I think Daquan Darcy might go here, and I feel like they're going to take either Michael Williams or Corey Davis with one of these picks.
This was the pick the Giants gave up last year in their failed attempt to get a running back.
They did end up getting a running back, though. They're just not the ones
Well,
that they would.
This was given up. Sterling Brown was given up for this.
Actually, I don't think that's right. This is the pick that KC had from the Giants. That they. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, I'm
you're
right. Yeah. We're approaching the end of the first round, by the way, folks. Tomorrow we're going to be starting at noon, I think.
1 o'clock Eastern.
1 o'clock Eastern time.
So the broadcast will be like 12:30ish.
Yep. Get your trades in tonight, folks.
I think the hottest commodity tomorrow will be Brett Fisher if he's not taken in the next few picks. Don't know if the Titans will trade off for him there, because if Fisher's there at 33, that is a steal in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. New Orleans front office talking it over, I guess. I really am happy I'm not picking in this area. I feel like there's no value left.
This is some depressing shit that we're scraping through.
Like, there's some value in defensive tackles, but they have Jeremy Miller. There's not really value in these corners, I don't think, because they're both kind of mediocre. I think the only value is really in the strong safeties, and those are both questionable first rounders. I guess some of these guards maybe might be good, but
some of the running backs I think are getting value again.
yeah, there's one running back I think might be value here, but they're not going to take him.
With the 25th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Corey Davis, strong safety, Pittsburgh. The Lions are now on the clock.
I called it. I mocked them, Corey Davis, in my mock draft.
Yeah, we considered that like long before you mocked us. Yeah, you saw right through it.
Yeah, it was easily their biggest need on defense other than corner, and I feel like they traded for Brady, so I feel like they have corner set for at least this year.
Jets are trying to trade down from 31.
They want to get that Brett Fisher pick.
Does Brett Fisher get sniped at the end of the first, I think, is the big thing right now.
Detroit needs wide receivers, I think. They could go with Cook. They could also go Darcy. Their outside linebackers are not that good. They also don't have a good second corner, so they could afford to take a flyer on one of these corners that are left. They traded for a running back, right? I feel like they got somebody.
Didn't they get Elvis Williams back?
They traded Elvis Williams.
Oh, back to the Patriots, yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, they have Otero. Yeah, they traded for Otero.
Oh.
So I feel like the only thing they need is a wide receiver or a cornerback too.
It's probably Jeremy Cook then, while I don't like that. In fact, I'm fairly certain this
It
is
could be Eli Austin.
I would like that.
I'm not sure who they.
I don't think he's the right kind of receiver, though.
I sure would love Eli Austin, but that's just some Homerade in my blood.
Saints looking to trade down from 27.
So everybody's looking to trade down from 27 to 31.
Yeah, it's not surprising. I don't think many people want to trade up to this point, though. That's the issue. But we'll see what happens. Detroit's pick is in. New Orleans on the clock.
With the 26th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jeremy Cook, wide receiver, Washington State. Saints are now on the clock.
I kind of like it. I guess I'm not as down on Cook as you are, but I think he's going to be pretty good with what's his name throwing to him?
LeCount.
Yeah. Everyone's name is what's his name to me, except for players on my team. If New Orleans doesn't trade down, I could see them taking Darcy, the outside linebacker.
Do they need a linebacker?
They have Austin Olsen. I don't know who their second guy is. I don't know. Maybe they take a flyer on Isaiah Hall. I don't know if that's a good idea, though.
This is going to end up being the longest draft since we switched to this new format.
They did trade their tight end, but so maybe they go with William Johnson. I don't know if he's worth a first rounder, but
Wait, who?
Maybe
he's a
less.
overall tight end.
Oh. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'll straight up say tight end, probably not a good idea here.
Spooky music. They're trying to ditch this pick, I think.
I just don't know who trades up.
I guess the only thing worth trading up for right now would be Darcy. Yeah, I don't really see who else, or Fisher. Who else would you trade up for?
Maybe Austin, but I don't think anyone's desperate enough for a wide receiver in this deep of a class.
Six picks left.
I think part of it is just how barren this part of the first round is. People usually want a home run guy in their first round, and none of these guys are extremely inspiring. I think some of these guys will be good, but it's just really hard to enthuse your fan base with another offensive guard.
I think if they don't trade this pick, I think it'd be interesting if they took a flyer on Jordan Harris, the FCS corner. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. He'd probably be number 3 for them, but I don't know if you want to draft a number 3 corner in the first round, but you do have Skaggs in your division, so it might be worth it.
3 minutes. Oh, sorry, 4 minutes.
It'd be interesting if they took Eli Austin here. They don't need a receiver necessarily, but Sean Jenkins is like a fucking amazing number 1. Eli Austin could be a decent number 2. The only reason I would probably not take him is because their offense is clearly not the issue with their team. They really need to shore up that defense, but they already did attempt that with Corey Davis. So
I'm pretty sure this is a trade incoming, based on some intel. Expect the compensation to be in the range of a second and a fifth. A minute and a half. Whoever does trade this is gonna have to fucking haul ass.
I just noticed in the second round, Miami has 2 picks in a row. Where did they get those from?
It's Cincinnati for Rodney Montgomery and Tampa for what's his name?
If the trade comes down short, you guys should probably pick the player that they want and then do the trade afterwards. Just a reminder.
A deal has been made. Don't know if it's gone through yet.
Nope. 1 minute left. Colts are gonna get into snipe situation.
We know they don't have an issue with their password because they already picked. So
Pick is in.
Yeah.
27th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Isaiah Hall, defensive end, Bowling Green. Colts are now on the clock.
yeah, I don't like that pick that much, but at this point, I can't really fault you for it because
They're gonna trade
there's
it.
really not a whole lot here. Yeah, I
think
guess
it's
if
an
they
awful
didn't
pick for the Saints, so
Well,
they run a 3-4, right? Because they have Jeremy Miller as 2 gap, I think. So contained DE is not the worst thing in the world.
well, before you get ahead of yourselves, there is more to this than just drafting them.
but
They're trying to trade him, draft and trade.
yeah, that's what we just said.
Yep. I'm coughing. Hold on.
I just said that. Who the fuck wants Isaiah Hall? Who wanted to trade up for him? That doesn't make.
Maybe San Francisco.
I'm not really sure who wants a 3-4 defensive end that badly.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. He would have fallen to the second round.
Dean, please push trade. Colts on the clock.
Colts have been on the clock for 2 minutes.
Colts still on the clock then. Come on. Please.
It's Kansas City.
That's a terrible trade.
Trading 40th pick and 121st pick.
Well, that's good value, I guess, but I think it's. I don't think Isaiah Hall is good for the Chiefs at all.
I don't know what defense the Chiefs run, so I wouldn't be able to know. I'm pretty low on Isaiah Hall, though.
I feel like Indy has to take a guard. Maybe they go for one of the corners, though. Maybe they react to the Raheem Robinson pick and pick a corner. Because they don't really have much at corner. They do have safeties, but they really need somebody who can cover.
I think Lucas Hopkins out of Missouri is my next best guard.
Yeah, I think he's the best available player right now.
He's also got a lot of issues, drug abuse in his collegiate years, elevated injury risk, but he brings an incredible bench press, combine high, tied with Taylor Randolph and Donald Reed. So you got to look at the positives, Colts.
I think this is going to be some boring pick, like a guard or something. That's all they really need right now, I think. Who's their strong safety?
Chris Brown.
I'm trying to think of a clever joke about beating things, but
They could use corner.
Pick is in.
with the 28th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Ian Hendrickson, guard, Arizona. The Ravens are now on the clock. Silence.
What do you guys think? Is that of the current guards, is he the best? I haven't really looked at the guards too much.
I looked at him a little bit and considered that's trading when I still wanted to trade down initially. I think he's pretty decent. They have Shane Strong was the running back at Arizona. He's like a 3.5 out of 4.5, and they were running outside a lot. And it seemed like it was, or inside. I mean, and it seemed like they were doing pretty well for not having a great running back. So I think he's probably pretty solid. His combine was okay. His pro day seemed okay.
Yeah, they were playing a tackle at guard last year, so.
Yeah. I think this is a decent pick. It's not flashy or anything, but.
Yeah, I wasn't terribly high on Hendrickson, to be honest, but it's not a bad pick by any means.
Four more
For
picks.
this Ravens pick, I think the best choice is Brett Fisher.
They're trying to trade it like badly.
Well, Tampa's looking to trade up, so you got a partner there if you want picks.
Bucks are looking to trade up as well. If the Ravens pick here, would it be a running back?
I don't think they want to take a running back in the first. They did trade for one from Seattle, I believe. So
Wait, never mind. Tyndale? I'm not sure. I know Duckworth went to Cleveland.
oh, never mind. I
Picks
thought they got
in.
Duckworth.
With the 29th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Brett Fisher, quarterback, Miami. The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock.
Well,
Fine.
there we go. I guess the Titans aren't going to have the best draft ever, but it's very interesting. I guess it makes sense if they want to think long term. I don't think they started this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't see him starting.
Totally forgot about the Cardinals since they've traded down like 4 times.
Bubata is pissed.
Well, they could have traded up, so.
I guess you're sticking with Kareem for another year. Or Bobby
He's a free agent.
I know, but after the draft, they can sign him for less.
I know, but somebody might still snipe him.
So what?
I'm predicting
Cardinals are going best
Yes.
player, whatever it is. I think it's a receiver.
I'll pick-
Eli Austin.
I was going to predict Darcy, but
That's possible too. It's just whatever the best player is that he thinks.
I think Austin is a fantastic fit at Arizona from working with that young man.
Michael Williams as well, maybe.
Williams would be decent, I think here.
Who else is available? It's either going to be Austin, Darcy, Williams. He's not going to take a risk on anybody. He's got to get like a sure thing. Do they need a running back too, right? Could be Sean Bell maybe.
They do have Matheson. I don't know if that's a long-term.
I
yeah,
forgot about Matheson.
Matheson is good.
Yeah, he's okay.
I definitely think Sean Bell's a big project. I'm not as high on
he
him
is.
as some other people.
He definitely. I think he should still go fairly early. High second at the latest.
So who's the best quarterback left, do you guys think? Because those were obviously the top 2, but there's a lot of question about the other guys, like Eric Jennings, Devin Conroy.
I don't think one should go until at the earliest 3rd, maybe 4th round now.
I'm a huge fan of Elijah Moffitt.
I'm actually down on him. He's the one I'm down on the most.
I think he has hilarious accuracy, and his numbers this year were just incredible. 180 passer rating. He's extremely efficient. I think his skills translate well, but he's definitely a guy that needs to sit.
I'm big on Devin Conroy. I think he's going to be – if he's like a Todd Jennings kind of player where he sits for 2 years,
I agree.
he will be really good.
I mean, we talk to each other a lot, so it's not surprising.
Yeah, if I didn't already have like 2 backup quarterbacks that I really like, I would consider taking him in like the 3rd round.
I think you have to sit him for like a year or 2 at least, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Conroy here, slightly over Moffitt. Yeah.
Just Conroy's arm talent is what makes me nervous. I think he's a game manager.
What do you guys think of Hamilton or Jennings? Because those guys are kind of forgotten. I feel like.
I'm not particularly high on either of them. I mean, they're decent backups for now. Maybe could develop into starters down the line, but it's, I don't know. Quarterback class takes a decent drop for now.
5 minutes left for the Cardinals.
I think Hamilton's a lot like he's like clay that just needs to be molded right. I think he has all the tools, but he definitely needs to sit preferably behind a good experienced quarterback. Jennings, I'm pretty down on.
I think where's the Bengals next pick? I feel like they should draft a quarterback just in case one of these.
With the 30th pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Eli Austin, wide receiver, Tennessee. The Jets are now on the clock.
I like it. I feel like wide receiver wasn't their biggest need, but I like the pick because it's good value and they need to get Jarius Jones going.
I like the pick. Austin's young, but he'll be good.
Eli Austin had a 1,000-yard receiving season catching balls from Julius Thomas. If that doesn't prove anything, I don't know what will.
Jets are trying to trade down, but since Fisher's gone, I don't think it's going to happen. Jumbo says you have 1 minute to contact him. He keeps putting googly eyes on everything.
What would the Jets possibly draft here? This one's not an outside linebacker, I don't think.
It could be. Is there any wide receivers left worth taking? Maybe Todd Oldham. Tom Oldham. Sorry.
Yeah, everybody react with the cow emote on the Jumbo comment. Everybody go vote for the cow emote. Cows rise up. Yeah, go cows.
Oh, Jesus.
The Jets did trade their center. Maybe they take Aiden Hastings, 79. Would be a bit of a reach, but
Jeez. I am on it.
Jets pick is in.
Meh.
I like that pick for the Jets.
I don't know how I feel about it. I saw it as a potential pick, but I don't know.
You have like the Twilight Zone on. Fucking Jinx.
I'm trying.
Oh, my mic was broken again. They took Darcy.
So the final pick of the day.
Defensive end.
I'm gonna go with
Actually,
McKinney.
I was gonna say defensive end, but there's like no defensive ends left. I still don't like the defensive tackles. I don't think they're good at all.
I'm thinking McBride or McKinney here.
Blech.
It's the 31st pick or 32nd pick in the first round.
Pick's done. With the
McBride.
32nd pick of the 2020 NFL Draft and the last pick of the first round, the Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers. Congratulations, Jumanji and Laser Cats, by the way. Select Michael McBride, defensive tackle, Pittsburgh. See you all tomorrow.
All right, 1 o'clock Eastern, everyone. Be on time. We're gonna start 12:30ish broadcast. So if anyone's on the West Coast, it's pretty early, but keep in mind it's gonna be going all fucking day, pretty much. So what do you guys think about the draft today?
I'd say it was pretty solid. Lots of good picks.
Lots of good picks and several very terrible ones.
I thought the Packers did incredibly. No other big clear winners. I thought the Browns did very well with their 2 picks, but not as good as the Packers and the Fitz.
Yeah, the Packers set themselves up extremely well. Fucking Steelers really screwed up last year with that trade.
Yeah, Packers far and away best or biggest winners of round 1. Browns decent second.
Any predictions for what Tennessee picks here in the?
Not a quarterback.
Yeah,
I think the best guy on my board
like
is
a
Michael Williams.
yeah. I'm not sure what they need after quarterback. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
By the way, the 49ers draft pick is one of the slowest people at the combine.
I do not believe this.
He was the 3rd slowest. Alright, see you guys tomorrow. 1 o'clock Eastern. We'll start at 12:30. Take care. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.